If you saw my haul a couple of weeks ago, you did see that I picked up my JUC ring finally, and I ended up opting for the small version of the ring. I wanted to discuss all of the reasons I ended up going in this direction, which, truth be told, made no sense to me for a very, very long time. So let's get started. Said this during my haul, this was not a price purchase at all. The reason why I'm saying that is because often when I see someone purchasing a small version of items, I always think that it's based price purchase. As I know that's not accurate, but I do think that, and I'm sure that there's a large portion of people that probably think that way as well. So I want to be very clear that me deciding to go with the small Juste Clou had nothing to do with price point at all. The next point that I want to make is that even though I purchased the small Juste Clou ring, I still favor the regular JUC. I think that it is more beautiful. I think that it is more bold. I think it looks beautiful on everyone. I think that it is a spectacular piece, and aesthetically, it's more my style. I think that that ring is stunning, and that it's still my favorite instead of this one in the small size. And I think that that's important to also put out there. The other thing that I wanted to say is I am not here to imply that the smaller one is the better purchase. So if you're new to my channel, back in 2019, September of 2019, I did purchase my regular Juste Clou ring, and I loved and wore it often during those months. So September, October, November, December, January, February, and then March, and then COVID happened. So that's the time frame of me having the Juste Clou. It wasn't as long as you would think that I had it. And so during the times that pre-COVID that I wore the ring, it was something that I didn't keep on my fingers. It was something that I would throw on my fingers when leaving my house, and it didn't bother me whatsoever. It was one of the things that I was pretty good about remembering to put it on. Say I was about 90% of the times I would remember to put my ring on because I loved it so much. Similarly, when I would get home, I would take it off. I couldn't wait to take it off. If I started to like wash a dish or clean a counter, I would like hit the counters really, really hard. And you know, it wasn't a pleasant ring to do things with. For me. So it was something that always came off, and it didn't bother me whatsoever. Obviously, during COVID, I realized it is not a stay-at-home ring. Like, I was staying home and I was getting no use out of the ring whatsoever. And it was maddening for me because I loved it so much that I tried wearing it at home, and it just didn't work for my lifestyle, being at home, putting it on. And it worked for me previously because, you know, I was going out and it just worked, but it was a very eye-opening experience to not wear the ring for months. So 7 months of not wearing that ring at all. And so the reason that I sold my Juste Clou was to fund one of my Juste Clou bracelets. I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna get more wear out of that, and I'll revisit this ring later. I had discussed purchasing upgrading the ring, right? In my mind, that made sense. I am going to sell this ring, and then when everything is back to normal, I will repurchase, and I'll purchase the diamond version, and all will be well. Was the way that I thought about it. Now, Kimmy here on YouTube ended up purchasing the diamond version of the Juste Clou, and she has a really good review video on the diamond version of the ring, and she really detailed something that I knew wasn't going to work for me. And so what she mentioned was that it was very similar to this small Juste Clou, and that it has bars on either side, and that these bars dig into your finger. And at that moment, I knew that ring wasn't going to work for me, because I don't like things that make me uncomfortable. I have dealt with things that make me uncomfortable when I was younger, but I just no longer have the ability to tolerate things that are really expensive, that hurt me in any way, shape, or form. I cannot deal with that. And so at that point, I really realized, you know what? There were two aspects of that I didn't like. The thing about the Juste Clou that I love is how solid this nail part is. That's my favorite thing about it. And realizing, you know, just with this one, you lose some of that solid feeling because you have diamonds on a ring. Now, I've tried on the Juste Clou with diamonds. It doesn't feel flimsy. It doesn't feel like it's missing anything. So I want to be clear with that. It's beautiful, and I just thought that it was going to irritate me, and it did start to bother me to know it was like slightly less gold. Yes, you were getting diamonds, but you're giving up something in order to get the diamonds, just the way that my mind works. But the ring is stunning. So at that point, I kind of decided, no diamond Juste Clou for me. I am just going to get my regular Juste Clou ring back. If you have been following me for the last year or two, I have been extremely relentless in my pursuit of fine jewelry that work within my lifestyle and that get daily constant wear, which is why I have my chain rings that I have been, you know, collecting for the last 2 years or whatever. And those have suited my lifestyle so well. And I decided I'm going to get those out of the way, and like my topper will be my Juste Clou. So I have really focused, or I did focus for a while, on my chain rings. And so once I had my chain ring situation situated, I thought, okay, it's time for my Juste Clou. And I knew that it was going to happen early within the year. And I had settled on the regular. And one day I was just, you know, thinking about it, which is what I do. And I realized that the thicker Juste Clou might not match what I have going on in my hand now. I have tried on the regular Juste Clou with chain rings, but the chain rings that I tried on they didn't have anything. They were just simple chain rings. They all looked like this, right? And they were my Ana Luisa ones. And these have diamonds and details and stuff. And I just thought that it would be too bold and that it might not complement what I had going on. At that point, I really did decide, you know what, I'm going to go into Cartier. I am going to try on the small Juste Clou and the regular Juste Clou and see like what is more pleasing to my eyes. That was really what I thought. I went into Cartier and the sales associate brought them both out, and I put on the small Juste Clou first, and she said, that really works beautifully with what you have going on. And I had to agree. It really looked best, and it really complemented what I had going on. And still, because I am extremely stubborn when I know that I love something. I love the regular Juste Clou. And so I took this one off and I said, but I love this one so much more. And I put it on, and it didn't look as good. And so I decided, you know what, I am going to buy this one. Seemed like a very, very level-headed decision to make at that point. And so I was really, really happy with my decision. I left with the ring on. Now, keep in mind that I purchased this ring knowing that this is a ring that I take on and take off. Right? That was my experience with the other one. And so that's what I was expecting. I knew that it was going to be something that I wouldn't wear 24/7 like my other pieces. To my surprise, this ring has stayed on my finger 24/7. Because it is smaller, it is extremely comfortable, and I was not expecting that at all. I was not expecting to feel like I could leave it on. And so that was mind-blowing to me when I left this on and I forgot that it was on, and I fell asleep and I didn't feel like, oh, I need to go take this off. or I would come home and I felt I need to take it off. So I knew at that point that that was the right decision that I had made. Something to note, I do believe this ring looks really beautiful stacked, and on occasion I will wear it this way. However, I will say I don't enjoy solid rings in between my fingers. Even this one, it is daintier. So if you don't like fussy rings, this is something that you know about yourself, that you don't like rings in between your fingers. That it still bothers me. So I know it wouldn't bother everybody, but it does still bother me. However, when leaving it on this hand, it does not bother me whatsoever. So that's definitely something that you should consider, because it's only hitting one finger. I don't find it fussy for me personally. So I prefer it on my index finger as opposed to any other finger. I want to touch on a little bit on sizing though, because initially my regular Juste Clou, I purchased it in a size 58, and I buy larger sizes, I've always said, because my fingers swell. My hands, I know, don't look like they're, you know, that I have like big hands or fingers or anything like that, but my fingers do swell and I don't like to be uncomfortable. So I always size up in my rings, and I highly recommend that you do too, especially if you're younger. As you get older, you swell more. It's a thing. During the summer, you swell. I prefer having the ring fit me bigger. So my regular Juste Clou was in a size 58. And so I did feel like that ring fit me a little bit big. But I have also gained weight. And so I had gone and tried it on in a size 56. And so when I asked to see these, I asked for them in a size 56. And it felt snug. And then I said, you know what, I think I need a 57. And the sales associate said, that is a 57. And so that really confused me. Now, while I say that this ring was really comfortable right off the bat, it eventually started to dig in. And I was pretty sure that it had to do with the sizing, not with the ring itself. And so I had to take that ring back, and I ended up getting it in a size 58. And ever since then, no digging, no problems whatsoever. So I do fit a size 56. I feel with the Juste Clou, your size can range. But if you are experiencing any kind of discomfort, I am going to say that you have the wrong size, because it shouldn't. It shouldn't hurt. And it doesn't fall off of my finger. You know, it won't fly off. It is, you know, it's more comfortable to put on and take off, but it doesn't dig. And I don't think it's supposed to dig. So if your ring is uncomfortable, I'm going to say that you have the wrong size. Like I said, I can fit a size 56, and at first it seems fine. It doesn't bother me at all. And then I still decided to go up from the 56 that I had initially tried to a 57, and that one dug. It took a few days for it to start to dig and bother me. I was not even sure if I should return it or what I should do, because I had worn it. I mean, I wasn't, you know, like hammering away with it or anything, but I did. I ended up having them exchange it for a size 58. And so I wanted to touch on sizing, because I feel that it's so confusing. There's a lot of people that tell you that they should have sized down. Like, if you look at some of my videos with my Juste Clou ring before, I can't remember which one I saw recently. It was like spinning because I was wearing it on a different finger. But on here, it fit me pretty, it still fit me kind of loose, but it was always comfortable while wearing it, except if I was doing chores and I was sitting here at home or trying to sleep with it. That didn't work. But it was always very, very comfortable. Now, also with the size 56, I could get the size 56 to fit in my thumb. also. So when I tell you that the size 56 fits me, it genuinely fits me. But eventually it starts to dig. And I have concluded that if it starts to dig, you got the wrong size. So just wanted to throw that out there. The only place that this ring falls off on me, maybe here. Yeah, and obviously my pinky as well, but it fits in every other finger comfortably. And the 56 and the 57 did as well, but it would eventually start to dig. This nail part would dig. So I wanted to share that experience with you guys because I do think that it is important when you discuss sizing. The Juste Clou ring is more of a solid piece than the Juste Clou small bracelet. Because this is bendable, you lose some of that solid feeling in comparison to the regular Juste Clou. And with this ring, you don't have that feeling that you're losing that. This is very, very solid. I can't bend it out of place or anything like that. And obviously it doesn't have any movement like this one does. So definitely a more comparable piece to the regular ring than this bracelet is to the regular Juste Clou. If you are having issues with your ring tangling in your hair or getting stuck on your clothes, you're probably wearing it in the wrong direction. Meaning if you're wearing it this way, just flip it. I understand this appeal on how a ring looks on camera, or like when you're looking in the mirror, washing your hands. I also really enjoy it this way. It is more enjoyable for yourself when you wear it this way, right? It facing you, so it's about you. But aesthetically, you want it to look more bold, then it makes sense to have this head turning away from you. However, in this manner, it does get tangled in my hair when I go to move my hair out of the way. But when I wear it this way, that does not happen. So keep that in mind. If your ring is getting tangled and stuff, just change the direction. Try it. It should make a difference. What I learned with this experience is that I could favor a piece, right? I favor the Juste Clou and the regular size, but which one did I actually get more wear out of? This one. Already way more wear that I ever got out of my regular Juste Clou. So that has been mind-blowing for me. And so one of the decisions that you're going to have to make is what you value more. Do you value aesthetic more, or do you value wearability? And I think that that's the important question that I leave to you, right? Because we each have to make that decision. In order for me to come to that conclusion, I had to own both. I'm not sure if this video or if what I'm saying would have made a difference for somebody like me. When I know, I'm like, no, I love that one, and that's the one that I love. And you know, you could not get me out of the idea of the regular Juste Clou. And it took COVID and then realizing, wow, this actually gets way more wear. Like for me, it was like mind-blowing, eye-opening. And so that's what I realize now, that while I do favor something more aesthetically, in the end, I prefer wearability. So that is what I wanted to say about this ring. And so I hope you found this information valuable. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section down below. I really appreciate your time, and I will chat with you guys later. Bye.